Could Donny van der Beek be the answer to some of Manchester United's midfield problems? Of course, they've got long-term absences at the moment with Pogba and McTominay not available. January window is open. The price could be up there, certainly. Is he worth taking a chance on?
Are they worth taking a chance on? Would be. I think if I was anybody going to United or potentially going to United at the moment, I'd sit and wait and see what happens, if you can. You know, I'd sit and wait and see what the decisions are going to be, who's going to be the manager, if it's still Solskjaer, if the chairman's still making decisions, which it seems that he is to a certain extent, even though he'll say he's not. So, excuse me, his education continues at Ajax, and that's not a bad place to be, even though they sort of faltered in the Champions League. It's a good place to be, and United, money apart, it's not a good place to be at the moment. And so I think there's a little bit of caution here for certain players, and I think he comes into that. He's a good player, but I think he comes into that category.
His stock might be very high for a team needing that kind of reinforcement in Manchester United. You said he might be better off just staying clear at the moment. Of course, they're not going to have that same run as they did, you mentioned the Champions League last year. Come the summer, where we'll be 23, maybe they'll let some players go. Maybe they won't. Does he have to jump ship? Do you think he has to sort of start fishing around for another situation?
I think ultimately, you know, all the guys, the real top guys in Holland and the youngsters have always sort of emigrated to Italy and England and all these big, you know, if you think back to the great Rijkaard and Hullet and all that, going to Italy in the halcyon days of Serie A. And we saw De Jong recently go to Barcelona and De Ligt go to Juventus. Whilst he's not quite in that category, he's not, you know, probably put him down maybe just underneath. You know, there's going to come a time I think he's going to outgrow the Eredivisie, and it probably is going to be the summer. It's just where he's going to go. He'll be a good asset for somebody, and we'll probably be stood here in 4 or 5 months' time talking about Man United again and who they're going to sign, and that's just the way it is. But I think for him it's just about sitting tight for a little. There's no rush. They're in the Europa League. It's not great, I know, but they could win that. They're probably going to be one of the favourites, and he's getting a good education at Ajax. I'm going to a struggling Man United side when they've got problems. I don't like it.
Hypothetically, let's say Manchester United start to sort themselves out in the summer. There's no Pogba there, let's say, as well. Is he a player who helps them in that kind of rebuilding in the image of younger?
Well, he helps the squad. He helps the squad. But you mentioned Pogba. I'll always go back to the manager. I think it's a key for anybody. It was a big key for United when Ferguson was there. Such a great manager, but he built a reputation. Players wanted to come. I think players are looking at it and going, I wouldn't mind playing for Klopp. I wouldn't mind playing for Pep. You know, one or two others. I want to play for. How's that going to? You know, what if he goes, which he probably should and will, and somebody else comes in and doesn't fancy me? So it's a lot to do with the manager as well, and that's going to be a big thinking point for Man United in the next 3 or 4 months to the end of the season.
Yep, okay, so these problems obviously snowball, and it's not just going to be an individual signing that makes the difference for Manchester United. Donny van der Beek continues to play well for Ajax, who are still in the hunt, obviously, domestically, Europa League as well. We'll see what happens between now and the end of the season.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.